Hello, all. I'm not fucking around. That's 3 days in a row on time starts. Technically, this one was 9:01, but I told you that I'd be prompt, so here we are. Welcome. I just did a couple of tweaks on Twitch. It says ad starts in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So if you're subscribed, you won't see that. If you're just enjoying the show after following it and not subscribing it and or linking up your Amazon Prime account, you will get an ad in 4 minutes. David informed me about how to link up Twitch to your Amazon Prime account. Thank you, David. He writes, to link your Prime account, you go to twitch.tv/Prime. Then hit Connect to Prime, sign into your Twitch account, and hit Connect. Done. Or in the Twitch app, go to your profile, go to settings, and go to connections and sign into your Amazon account. Done. That's great. Thank you, David, for making that so simple. So if you are watching the show and not subscribed, you'll get ads from Amazon. And if you're not subscribed, you can pay for it if you want, but most people have an Amazon Prime account, except for Man Bun Chris, and you can link it up that way. I should probably put this in the chat, and then you can see for yourself. Yeah, there you go. It's that simple. Welcome to all of you on this Friday, May 15th edition of the show on what is going to be a very, very eventful, fun-filled weekend full of adventures. I'll get to that in a second. Let me just tell you, though, that during the Griffins game yesterday, in which they lost game one of their best-of-5 series with the Chicago Wolves, which is quite a bummer. They did that last game, too. Lost their first round or first game of the playoffs. And so that's kind of a bummer. But no big deal, because then they came back and won, 4 straight? Yes, 3 straight. Yeah, in the best of 5. Let's get after it. These are some of the highlights. One of the things in particular that I wanted to focus on was this crazy moment during that game. And hats off to the Griffins for putting your old pal EZ at the beginning of the highlight package. I just figured this out 30 seconds ago that they did this. Let's see, what the hell? I could have swore I had audio. Anyway, I guess I don't. Anyway, the game was quite eventful, but the Griffs could not get anything going. And they fall in this one. One of the moments that took place in the game, there was some scrum early on, and one of their dudes cracked one of our guys. And then there was all sorts of pushing and shoving and nonsense. And then the guy comes back and gets in the penalty box. And I take a look at him, and he's smiling. And I go, what are you laughing at? And boy, did he get a kick out of that. A little bit of talk in the chat about the camera angle and the chins on your old pal EZ here. Yeah. I look like I'm 9,000 pounds. Holy shit.
Season long, this should be a fun playoff
I think
round.
I need to either go on a diet, or I need to perhaps change the camera angle. Because look at that. Holy fuck. It looks like I've got an entirely different lower mouth.
Playoff round.
Goaltenders are in place. Caden Primo down to our right for the Chicago Wolves in their white jerseys.
Hansen just took a good.
This is that moment that got things going.
Takes a return feed. Drifting off to the near point.
It was a great
Move it
spot
across
here.
The other side.
This fight in front of the net. Watch this.
Oh,
Whammo!
now we got trouble.
Kaboom!
Now you got trouble. Lots of it.
What a pileup down along the side of the Griffin net.
Yeah, Postava took that puck and cradled and held on, and he got checked like into the chest, knocked on his backside, and they're really going at it now. Holy cow, who is that down low? Anton Johansson in there.
Now you can see our goalie was starting to mix it up. I was waiting for their goalie to come the length of the ice. I had my eye on for maybe we could get a fight between the tendies.
Sheldon Dries.
Yeah, Dries.
Well, he was the guy that went after who that was along the side of the goal there, but he went after him with vengeance.
Yes. Ooh. Anton.
That's that guy there, 22, just threw that right cross at our guy. That is a Skylar Brindamore, the son of Rob
After
Brindamore,
him.
who's the coach of the what are they? The Carolina Hurricanes.
Vengeance.
Yes.
Whammo!
Ooh. Anton Johansson just took a good pop. Brindamore caught him when he wasn't looking.
Well, the two of them still jabbing away at each
All
other.
right, get in the
Meanwhile,
box, you bunch of fucking hicks.
More of the box.
Well, here we go, folks.
Yeah, so, you're thinking that the Griffs are going to go ahead and use that momentum, but they did not. I'm getting other comments about my chins. Badger is suggesting Grand Rapids plastic surgery on the belt line. They will pull that thing tight. No, I refuse to get any type of surgery for this. That's nonsense. I need to put my chins to the grindstone and perhaps stick to some type of exercise program and stop eating like an asshole. So that's probably the biggest takeaway from that game. My chins. Holy fuck. God damn it. Thanks, chin. Anyway, welcome to each and every one of you. So glad you are here. Badger says red light mask. Piano Finger Banger says there's no way you can swim off an extra chin. So the idea there is that any amount of weight that I've gained is all in my chin. That no matter what I do, I am not going to be able to make this go away. I think, though, I would look jacked if I got some type of plastic surgery because of the amount of fat overall on my face. Man Bun Chris writes, hey, EZ, the Triple S interview was great. You were a great moderator. Thank you. That was the interview with Sexy Sheriff Swanson yesterday. And I made that very clear that this is not an endorsement. And I just wanted to put it out there. He seemed like a nice guy, and we hit it off quite well. That was enjoyable. I'd like to talk to the other candidates that are running for governor in the great state of Michigan. EZ, why don't you interview somebody who's running for governor in the state I live in? That makes no sense. Why the hell would I do that? Sexy Sheriff Swanson nearly jumped out of his chair when I talked about a recent poll that was done that has him with, I believe, like 10% of the voters, and his opponent, Jocelyn Benson, for the Democratic nomination at about 60%. According to that poll, now I got about that far in saying that because the poll just came out, and he's like, hold on a minute. Those aren't real. And, yeah, there have been times that polls did not come back. I think in one of the elections recently, I don't know if it was Trump or what, that actually did turn out to be true. It might have been Hillary Clinton. And a lot of people were expecting her to win. So I don't know. Maureen says the director of Saving Tales Animal Rescue said it was a great interview. Very well done. Thank you. I appreciate that. Man Bun Chris also points out you handled the glitchiness well, too. I also appreciate that because he was doing it from his iPhone and whatever reason we kind of lost connection. It froze up on him here and there. And I could have edited that out, but it was a time crush, and I wanted to get it out as quickly as possible. But he seems like a nice enough guy. And I've got, like I said, family members that are pretty close with him, and they have said the same thing about him. What I don't understand is the hatred. And I really think that it's important to not fall victim to that. Naysayers, I think it's important to point out that you can disagree with the guy politically. Let's say you're 100% opposed to Democratic talking points and campaign strategy and what, for example, a typical Democrat might want to do if they are a governor. At 100%, there's no fault at all with anybody saying, yeah, I don't believe any of that. Like if I am a historically Republican voter who recently jumped ship from the Republicans after Trump, but make no mistake, my vote is for sale. But I am not going to sit there and hate on any one side. All right? I am above that. I will report. I will discuss. I will give you my opinion on things. But I am not going to do that. And I think that everybody should as well. I think you need to put a little bit of a barrier between the maliciousness and how you feel about running a government entity. That's just my 2 cents. I think you'll be happier and probably won't lose as many friends because you're such an asshole. I cannot say 100% who I'm going to vote for. It's going to take a little time. There is a debate coming up that I will go ahead and take advantage of and keep an eye on when it comes to. Well, I don't even know when the Republican debate is for governor, but I think you're down to 2 horses here, 2 or 3 horses: John James, Perry Johnson, and Mike Cox. David is here. He says, "Damn it, no notification again." Well, I did say, though, that I was starting right at 9, and I did. I think that as I continue to try to get away from having you rely on notifications for Twitch, keep in mind that now 3 days in a row, on time starts, 10 a.m., Fridays, 9 a.m. Here I am. So if you are into that habit, you'll know, just open the damn thing up right at the top of that hour, 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., and I will be here. By the way, David, I just shared your info with the good folks about how to link up your Amazon Prime, and I put it in the chat there. Man Bun Chris says the true test is a Monday. Yes, and I don't feel at all like you should be thinking that I've established a habit. I have not. It's going to take some time in order to do that. Amanda is here. She says, sometimes my notification does not pop up until I wake my phone up. Badger says, who is the candidate that says he's going to eliminate state income tax? That would be Perry Johnson. His ads are hard to miss. He's got some hillbilly country song that plays. I wonder if I can find that. Perry Johnson country music advertisement. If you hear my new song on the radio, okay, this might be it. Okay, this is actually a shallow reason to not vote for Perry Johnson because of this song right here.
In the heart of Michigan, voice rings true. conservative leader, just like the best. No hold bar, he's ready for the test. Quality efficiency, that's his game.
Okay, now it said quality and efficiency, but I think it just said quality efficiency.
For the test, quality efficiency, that's his game. Cut through the ways, calling out the name. Crooked politicians led us astray. Perry's on a mission, he's here to stay. Perry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough.
Yeah.
47, give us room to grow. From the field to the city, hear the people cheer.
Yeah!
With Perry in the lead, yeah, we got nothing to fear.
Verse 2.
Talking property taxes and still our dream. Perry's got a plan, he knows to sing. Fighting for the heartland, he knows what's right.
So this has got a real Hilljack vibe to it, fighting for the heartland. This is aimed at hard living line voters, intensely poor people with no teeth.
Gonna turn the state around and shine in the night. No more hidden fees, no more bureaucratic mess. Yeah, trim the fat and make the government less. From the north to the south, yeah, we're rallying strong. With Perry Johnson leading, we'll be righting every wrong. Perry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand. Families and freedom across this land.
So this plays on like advertisements on the radio. Like for Q100, we have this ad. And everybody hates it. But at least the loud people vocalize it. They text and say, "What the fuck is this?" But Perry is spending so much dough. Like the radio station, he's spending so much money on the radio station. It's unbelievable.
47.
That's his thing, 47. He says each Michigan resident is going to save $4,747 with no income tax. All right, I'm not going to play any more of the song, but I'll just tell you this. If you're a guy who's running for governor and your whole campaign is based on no income tax, you better damn well follow through on that. And that sounds difficult. Nick writes, poor people don't even pay income tax as it is. Red Bull Brain Chris says, I picture Trump doing his stupid dance to this. Adam says, what AI app did he use for this shit song? Adam says, good call, Adam. Or I'm sorry, Amanda says, good call, Adam. David says, how about getting rid of property tax when you own your home? Well, you know, I don't know much about anything, but I'm assuming property tax those are funds that go to county government. Isn't that right? And your income tax funds the state. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. Nick says Carla Wagner for governor in Michigan. She wants to get rid of property tax. That's what hits me, especially with multiple properties. David says, why am I paying tax for something I own? Now, again, I don't know, and I'm only assuming that the money you pay on your property tax is going to fund projects in your neck of the woods. Not 100% sure, but I'm typically, I think that that any type of tax is used to pay for the way of life that we all enjoy. Bottom line, it doesn't matter what your tax is. It could be a millage to support the schools. Could be your income tax. Could be a tax on cannabis. Could be a lottery tax. I think what this boils down to is you assholes want all this shit free. Okay? you're acting like it shouldn't cost us anything to live. And the only reason why you're thinking that is because you're all really dumb. And that's why you think the way that you do. It's important that we have tax. If you want to be the number one state, the number one nation, the number one HOA, the number one county, the number one city, all right, you want to pay those things. Is it perfect? Of course not. But at this stage of the game, there's going to have to be a lot going on to do what you are suggesting. And I think generally all you dipshits are caught up in your feelings. Now, I love tax. I love taxes. To me, high prices, that's a status thing. Gas needs to be high. I love high gas. That's a tax to pay for blowing up Iran. So I'm like, yeah, that's a very American thing to do. Because I am paying high gas, I am a true patriot fighting for truth and justice in the American way. In fact, I kind of feel, because of what I pay for gasoline, as an American war hero. I know I am. And the only thing I'm looking for now is to be walking down the street and somebody to say, thank you for your service. Badger says, how much was the tax on the fraud bus? I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that in order to drive the bus on Michigan roadways, I have to register it. And so if you were to break down the cost it is to register the fraud bus, like how much do you think it costs me to get that little sticker on the back of that thing? For all you dickheads that are saying that we shouldn't pay any taxes. I, without a complaint, pay $116.66 per month on the fraud bus. And I probably drive that thing like a few thousand miles a year. And a lot of those miles aren't even in the great state of Michigan. That's right. It's $1,400 roughly for the little sticker on the back. And you don't hear me bitching about it. All right? That keeps my roads in a reasonable order. It keeps my bridges from crumbling as best as they can be kept. So I want you guys to start adopting an attitude that the more we're taxed, the better of a war hero that we are. Okay, that's the only way you can swallow that pill. You can't just sit around and go, I don't want to pay, I own this. Why do I pay property tax? Fuck you. That's the way it's always been. We can't have it fucking free here. You assholes are always bitching about immigrants coming into this country. You got to make it less tantalizing. Nick says $180,000 for the fraud bus times 6% sales tax, $10,800. Sounds about right. I don't know. Amanda says, yeah, we're not out there on the front lines with guns and stuff. We have our wallets. Yes. Bert says tax the immigrants too. Yes. That has been my thing. Okay, fuck all these politicians. I got it down. If I've got 5 million Mexicans who all they want to do is be nice guys and girls and work, all right, let's amnesty, immediate amnesty, get them to pay their fair share, and then throw on an additional 3% Mexican tax just for paying for the amnesty, and put that at a certain amount of years, let's say like 50. They have to pay the Mexican tax. Rather than just spending all this dough gathering up all these poor souls and sending them off to concentration camps in El Salvador. How about we just spend the time getting rid of the bad guys, keep the good guys? Hey, welcome to the USA. Fast track to citizenship. By the way, you're not sending all your money home. You're going to pay your fair share. Amanda says she was being sarcastic. I should have known. All right. So I don't know if just dangling a carrot of saying no income tax is gonna do it. It might, because for these hillbillies, that's all you got to say is throw in the word heartland, no income tax, and Perry's here to stay, and then moron Michiganders are going to go, hey, that's my guy. More great ideas from the audience. Pay-per-view pedo executions to raise more money. Hey, I'm an open book. Yeah, I would run on, I would not run on any platform of you're going to get more. I would run on, yeah, I'm going to assume duties, and I'm going to assess how fucked up things are. I think I would start, though, if I were in charge, instead of like saying I'll cut massive taxes and all this other shit, I would start by cutting out the government employees that are redundant or useless positions that don't require paychecks and insurance. Nick says, when I was poor with kids, they took 0 income tax from my checks and still sent me a $6,000 return. All right, now I don't even know how we got to that. I think we got to that because I was talking about Sheriff Swanson, and I still maintain that let him run, be polite, be fair, don't hate on anybody. I'm not going to hate on Perry Johnson despite his shitty song. I'm not going to hate on anybody. My vote is for sale, and I'm going to decide based on my own efforts who I think my vote should go to. I require all of you to do the same. Instead of being a fucking brainwashed moron, it is up to me to deprogram you to understand that there's a lot more to life than just assuming that so-and-so from so-and-so party is a piece of shit and so-and-so from your party is a deity. Dumbass. Like my pal, Bill Van Stalker, who I ended up deleting his comment because I'm sick of the negativity on the comments on my page when I posted the interview. Every time I post a picture of sexy Sheriff Swanson, who he's a storyline on this show because he came from humble beginnings of line dancing while wearing bedazzled pants, which I've busted his balls on it for looking like a fruit. And I've also busted his balls on his dumb Peloton videos. Okay? And every time I post something about him, Bill Van Stalker says, hey, yeah, he does, there isn't a camera that he doesn't love. And I'm like, yeah, well, of course. That's how you get your name out there. If he wasn't running for governor and wasn't the sheriff, I don't think he'd be doing these things. And I think Chris Swanson does a great job in explaining what he stands by. I'm not saying I agree with everything, but when it comes to talking what he'd like to do, he's excellent at it. And I saw a comment from some guy named Rick who just referred to the Triple S as a piece of shit. I was like, go fuck yourself. I don't need you around here. That's not what I'm about. All right. So that is part of EZ's Government 101 election in the great state of Michigan coverage. One of potentially 5 interviews in the books. Now, it's up to these other candidates to get back to me. But I've got feelers out saying Chris Swanson was on my show. I would love you, Jocelyn Benson, to be part of my show. I would love you, Perry Johnson, to be part of my show. I would love you, John James and Mike Cox, to be part of my show. Give you an opportunity to speak for yourself. Let the audience figure out what the fuck they want. Like this person for Perry Johnson says, great song, Perry. It's not. Cut the Waste. All right. Audit Michigan. I don't know what that means. Michigan on top. Okay. No holds barred. I don't know what that means. Save our state. It doesn't need to be saved.
An absurd
Most
number
people are dumb. We have ads coming in on the live stream in 4 minutes. You should probably subscribe with your Amazon Prime account, and then you won't have that happen. So today, no hockey game today. Get the show done, regroup, post it, do the Patreon, post it, exercise, try to be less fat. Off to see Gunner and the Grizzly Boys at Gun Lake Casino. This is a free show, and I would like you to go just for something fun to do. It's a star-studded event. As Easy, Pooh Bear, Ben Glaze, his lovely better half, and Kevin Kuiper's fifth wheel extraordinaire is going to be at the VIP table at Gun Lake Casino to see Gunner and the Grizzly Boys. Now, if Kevin wants, he can bring his mommy and daddy. Kuiper is still living at home despite being 48 years old. I'm excited to hang out with him, and you can join us, too, to see Gunner and the Grizzly Boys tonight, 8 p.m. start at Gun Lake Casino. Tomorrow, get up. It is Black Belt Knicks. What did we describe it as? Black Belt Test Extravaganza. Kuipers says no thanks. No thanks to what? Mommy and daddy? And he's going to show us his new tattoo tonight. All right. Black Belt Test Extravaganza tomorrow. Yeah, you all are not invited because it is a closed-door affair. We will get there, and then we will watch Nick. He's going to get the shit beat out of him. And then at the end of that, there may be some sodomy after he gets his black belt. I don't know about that last part. I just threw it in there. Word on the street is that Megan from Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, is going to be there. But I know she's had a crazy-ass week. So maybe she sleeps in and gets the rest that she needs. I don't know. But I'm still excited for this event. Rebecca says that show mom Megan will be there to represent us. That is great. I hope she is. And hey, Nick, how long is this? Is this like a 2-hour beatdown, 2 hours plus, that you will be doing your black belt test? After that, 2 to 4 hours. Wow, that's a large window. Is there like breaks? Can you like go out into the front, like have a smoke or anything? Shit, I'm concerned about whether or not I can actually survive being there for that long. I might have to go out and get some food or something. All right. And then Saturday night, Griffins again. Van Andel Arena. Get tickets and go. Sunday, I think I'm just making food for the family. I plan on coming up with a new recipe. I've been getting a lot of great recipes on Facebook lately. There's so many that I just cannot wait to make. Okay. For those of you that are watching the show on Facebook and YouTube, I am going to send you on your way. I appreciate you being here. But again, I'm trying to send as many audience members that watch on Facebook and YouTube over to Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. So I'm going to cut you out of this now. Just head on over to Twitch. Watch the rest of the show. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. While I have you, though, it's important to note that I have my bonus podcast today on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. And you can sign up for free at that spot, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for free, get after it, and I'll see you there. I have a Big Fraud Tuesday coming up next week with Ben Glaze and myself. Show number 98 of Who Are These Free Beers will take place at 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday on Patreon only, followed by the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. So that happens Tuesday. Sign up for free at patreon.com/Eric Zane, and you can get after it that way. If you want to say hello via email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. That's the Shoreliners striping inbox. Shoreliners make a great first impression with your customers by having a clean and neat and freshly painted parking lot. You can also stripe the athletic field, shorelinerstriping.com. Thanks for watching on Facebook and on YouTube.